Welcome to Brett Ridgway's Learning for Life. This is Lesson 4, Part 4, and this is practice tracks, but it's also a whole lot more, which we'll explain as we go. If you're attempting these practice tracks, you should be able to play it by memory, both the lead and the backup. And you want to switch back and forth. You might want to do a lead, then backup. And by the way, if you're having trouble with the speeds, then just do one. Just do the lead, 3 times through, and then maybe do it again with the backup 3 times through. Backup is a whole lot easier. But you want to work at this first speed, which is going to be at 120. So I'm going to give you this practice track, and then we're going to talk about what we're going to do after that, because there is a method to this. Even if you can't do this speed, there's something we're going to do that's going to help you. So here we go. 3 times through at 120. So, how did you do? There's 3 categories here. You either were able to do it, or you knew it and had it memorized and you could play it on your own, but you couldn't do that speed, or it's not memorized. So I'm going to give each category something to work on. If you could not do the speed because it was not memorized, go back. There's nothing wrong with going back. There's nothing wrong with slowing down. There's nothing wrong with repeating lessons. Go back, do what you need to do. If there's a certain area you need to work on, isolate that area, work on that area. If you follow the directions of these lessons from the beginning, you should not have those areas. This should be memorized. But if you don't, go back and do that. So let's say that you were able to play that. Then what I want you to do is we're going to bump this up to 150, and I'm going to have you play it at 150. If you're in the category where you couldn't do it, but it was memorized, but you just couldn't play it as fast, what I'm going to encourage you to do is move on to the faster speed. And right now you're saying, but wait, I couldn't play at the slower speed. How in the world can I play it at the faster speed? You can't. All right? You probably can't. But what it's going to do is it's going to push you. All right? And I'm going to give you the explanation for this. When I would teach kids to play with a CD and there were different speeds, they were having the hardest time trying to get to the medium speed. Many of them just could not do it. They were frustrated. So what I did is I pushed them to the fast speed. There was no way they could do the fast speed. And they would sit there and say, I can't do it, it's too fast. And I'd say, try it again. Try it again. And they still couldn't do it. So what I had them do was go back to the medium speed. When they got to the medium speed, they actually could play it at the medium speed. And the thing was, they actually were playing it faster than the medium speed. Because the medium speed after the fast speed started seeming a little bit slow. So what I want you to do is move on with those who already could do it, whether you could do it or not. If you have it memorized, move on. Try it at 150. And we'll talk when you come back from that. So at least go through this a few times. Here we go. So now we're down to two categories. Either you were able to play that, or you struggled and couldn't do it. And my encouragement here is to do it again, at least, as I said, 3 times. If you can't do it, I want you to move back to that first speed, 120, and I could almost guarantee you're going to be able to play the 120 speed. So let's say that you had moved on and you could do this, but not so. I guess there is three categories here. You moved on and you were close. All right. In other words, you don't necessarily need to go back. You might want to go back just to check, but then you can pretty much do this. You're stumbling around a little bit, can't do it, but you're kind of there. I want you to move on to the next speed. Now, again, if you can't do this at all, if this was just a blur to you and just way too hard, go back, work on the medium speed. When you get the medium speed, then you want to go for the second speed. So I'm hoping this is making sense, what we're trying to do. We're pushing you past your comfort zone. We're making you work harder. But then after you work hard, when you go back to the slower, it comes much, much easier. So we are going to move this up now to 180. And we'll see how you do there. Again, if you have to go back, you need to understand that is not failure. That is a learning process. It is not failure. You need to understand when I told you at the first speed, if you couldn't do it, but you had it memorized, that I wanted you to try the second speed 2 or 3 times, and I said you probably can't do it. I don't expect you to be able to do it. It's not failure. That's not your goal. Your goal is to push yourself. Going back and playing at the slower speed is your goal. And this will continue as we increase our speed, no matter where you're at. So here we go. This is at 180. Give it your best shot. See how you go. Here we go. So how'd you do with that? We're going to give you one more speed at least. Take the same idea. If you were not able to do that one, but you could do the second speed, you want to stay on this one, push yourself. If you were not able to do the second speed, or the second speed, and you struggled with this one a little bit, but it's memorized, you want to keep trying this one and then go back and try that second speed, and there's a good chance you'll be able to play that. Remember, it's a learning process. So our last speed is going to be at 200, and it is quite fast. Remember, it's a long-term goal. If you cannot get to the speed right now, that is 100% fine. If you're able to play the third speed fluently or pretty good, Still struggling, maybe you want to jump to this fourth speed. Do it 3 or 4 times and then go back and try that third speed. What you're doing is you're just, if you're having trouble at one level, you're pushing yourself to the next level, which you probably will not be able to do, but it's going to force you to play it's going to force you to play faster and to become more accurate. Then when you go back to the previous speed, you should be able to do it a lot better. So work with it, have fun with this. I'm going to bid you adieu at this point. You do have one more practice track at 200. Thank you, patrons, for your giving, for your support. I have mentioned this several times. I could not do this without my patrons. They are an integral part of this work. They are vital to this work. And they have a lot to say about this work, and I listen to what they have to say and directions they would like to go. Every week, or every month, sorry about that, every month, we have a Patreon get-together where we either do a workshop or where we jam, or where they pick my brain, which doesn't take too long to do, but they can ask questions. And it's like a little family, and I truly, truly appreciate all of my patrons and for their support and for their help. So here we go with the last part. Again, thank you, patrons. To anyone who might consider becoming a patron, here's our song at 200.